All right, so hell of a day today. Hell of a day. Almost got in a wreck, and the truck died on me on Beach Boulevard. So I was stuck on the side of the road for about 45 minutes, and got it to crank back up and break. The booster is going real bad on it. I don't know what the hell's. I got to swap that booster over. I got a job Wednesday. I got to go, and this one I started back in February. Finally got the stuff in for it, so I'm gonna get that knocked out Wednesday if the rain holds off. And anyway, truck took a crap on me. Don't know what happened. Just random, just died. Uh, I will say it died in front of a Dunkin' Donuts, so I guess there's a silver lining to everything. So yeah, I got me some donuts and came back to shop and was looking at a couple things on YouTube on how to, do some editing and everything. And I ate a couple donuts. Next thing you know, I'm crashed out in the office. Just fell asleep. So yeah, that's pretty much been my day today. Did that little repair this morning. Got 160. So can't complain about that. And he's going to do some custom door glass later on. I'm going to hook him up with that. I do want to mention about the house I was at. No, nice enough guy. I ain't gonna talk crap about him or nothing like that. But I noticed something when I was over at his house. Has a big, one of the F-350s, probably $100,000, or if he got a deal, it's no less than 60 grand for the truck. Wife has a probably $30,000 to $50,000 SUV, 2-story house. I don't think no way it's less than 200,000. But it's a big house. I mean, he said he got a deal on it, but I didn't really get into the whole money thing. I'm just making assumptions. So, but you walk in the garage and has all this. You just see money. I mean, it's not like rich money. It just, he went to Lowe's or Home Depot and just bought all the stuff and hung it all on the wall, and that's where it's at. I mean, half this stuff's brand new, never been used. And I talked to him about the insert. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be doing 5 inserts. They're $75 a piece and swapping it all out and everything else. I say, maybe $600-800. I mean, it's not gonna be real expensive. So, I can't afford that right now. I can't afford that right now. And I'm sitting there thinking, he got all this stuff, all this money, everything else. And, he lives in a gated community, one of the higher end neighborhoods here in town. And you don't have no money. And, I know everybody's having a hard time. Hell, I'm having a hard time. But you could have money. I mean, I'm not driving around in $100,000 truck. My shop, the rent on it is less than what most people are paying on a little 2-bedroom house, and I got a big warehouse and everything else. So, hell, I'm probably going to rent my house, a 1-bedroom house. I'm probably going to rent it, pretty much to compensate for this. So it's hopefully going to be a 1-for-1. I rent that and pays for the shop, and then I got no money going out at all, but. At least that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Plus, I got a long ways to go before I can rent my house out. But I was just sitting there thinking, I mean, this dude rolls up, I don't even want to know what his payments are. I don't want to get it. But I notice it's not necessarily how much money you make, but it's how much money you spend that dictates where your life is. I see so many people, young kids, and I did the same thing. In fact, I'm not going to get into that, but I got into debt, and I got, there's no need for it. I mean, we shouldn't have to spend $100,000 to buy a freaking pickup truck. Period. I don't, and I'm not hating on rich people. No, I'm glad rich people are around because I love getting money from them. But I'm gonna tell you, we have something that we can do. And this is going to be another little rant. So, but it's if you listen to me, you understand that I do know a few things. But if everybody got together, like let's say, okay, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whoever the hell you want to buy from, imports. Let's say, okay, we're done paying your price. Everybody got together and say, okay, we're done. We're not paying $60,000 for a pickup. We're not paying $30,000 for a freaking Kia. We're just done, and we stop buying. If we just say we're done, we don't want to play this game no more, and everybody got together, if all of us kind of teamed up and said, okay, we're not going to pay this price, I bet you the prices will drop down in 2 months. And I'm not talking about a couple thousand. I'm talking about tens of thousands. If Ford, Chevy, Dodge, if everybody says, you know what, we're just not going to participate in your crony capitalistic, ideas of, why the hell is a pickup truck, $50,000, $60,000? My alarm's going off, so time to go home. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me turn that off because it's going to bug the hell out of me. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, I'm actually sitting on my bumper and got a little jig set up. You're sitting in a door jig to hold the phone up. But yeah, it don't make no sense. And I mean, I've probably spent $25,000 into that monster van, and I mean, hell, it's an advertising piece, everything else, but still, I've spent way too much money on it, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm done spending money. I'm done buying stupid crap. In fact, one of my new things, I was like, you know what? Before I go to Walmart and buy anything, I'm going to Dollar Tree. Let me guess, a Stance truck. Oh God. But yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can get it for $1 first. But anyways, it's 8 o'clock. I'm gonna head back to my house and try sweeping off the driveway and get some stuff. Oh. The story. So here in Jacksonville, actually I'm not gonna say where it's at. Okay, of course I'm living in Jacksonville, Florida. But there was a house I went to and did a back door. Okay, a little double door and everything else. I'm gonna try to use some hands. But you got the double door that swings, in and out. Well, swings out. And they wanted it replaced because it was rotted out, and So when I got there, the house had a little bit of furniture in it. Not a lot, but it's like they had enough to get by. You can tell it was a lower income family. It was a black family, and when I got there, it's pretty much like you walk through a hallway. You got the kitchen on the right. You got the living area on the left, and it was all carpeted, and and they had a little piece of linoleum by the back door where you go out to the back into the backyard. So I get there and I start looking at everything. I say, okay, so where the door opened up, okay, right in the center of that spot on the bottom, probably about 8-10 inches around on the inside and outside, there was an ant bed, fire ants, and it grew a bed, it's probably about 3-4 inches, well, let's say about 4 or 5 inches tall, probably about 8 to 10 inches around, fire ants. And as soon as I opened the door, they were going to get all pissed off. Well, the baby was behind me off to the left, the door's in front of me. There's a little baby, a little infant on the ground, just walking around. I said, ma'am, you might want to get your kid, because when I open this up, there's going to be fire ants. I'm going to do my best to keep them out of the house, but they're going to be here. They've been here. No, they're going to be here. Yeah, oh, it's okay. If he gets bit, he'll start crying. I was like, yeah, I don't want him to get bit. But it's okay. Don't worry about it. So anyways, I opened the door. I opened it up, and I'm sweeping. Took the blower, blew out as much as I could, and got the ants under control. Tore the door out, in the process of putting it back in. And behind me, I hear this little splat. What the hell is that noise? So I turn around, and this kid is sitting there with a pile of dog shit on the carpet, splatting it. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I said, ma'am, now she's on the phone in the kitchen cooking some food. It smelled good, by the way. But she was in there, and I said, ma'am, I think your kid got into something. She walked over there, like, what the hell? And, and went over there. And when I say she snatched this baby up, okay, she grabbed this kid, and I would not be surprised if it dislocated its shoulder. I mean, yanked it up and took it back into the bathroom and cleaned it off and did whatever she did. And I didn't see the baby for the rest of the day. So I'm assuming she put him in the bed or something like that. So, and this is probably around like, I guess it's a little after lunch, like 1, 2 o'clock. So I'm finishing up everything, and I mean, I'm getting close. I'm ready to get that paperwork signed. I'm ready to get the hell out of there. I was like, this just was one of them jobs that I'll never forget this job for the rest of my life, and I remember everything about it. But I was getting there, put the handle set on. All of a sudden, the front door, bam, loud ass noise. I'm sitting there thinking SWAT's coming in this motherfucker. So, but yeah, the front door comes flying open, door slams, and little tubby kid, little kid comes in. Mama, I want a Snickers bar. She's like, you ain't getting no damn Snickers bar. We about to have dinner. She's like, Mama, I want a Snickers bar. And I'm laughing now, but at the time, I'm like, this family crazy. Like, this family got some shit going on. So, and he comes in, and what I heard was something that I will never forget. She's like, you ain't getting no damn Snicker bar, but I'll get you some applesauce with sugar in it. And I said, I had to stop for a minute. I was like, I think the Snicker bar would be healthier. but yeah, and so that all happened, and and I got the door done. I got it all finished up and got all cleaned up, and I signed the paperwork. I got the hell out, and I was sitting there driving, and I'm just kind of replaying the day in my head, like what like the whole day. And it was more little things that I noticed, and a little bit of paraphernalia around, stuff like that. And I pulled up. I went down to in the block and stopped at a stop sign. I'm gonna tell you, that's the one and only time out of thousands of houses that I've been to. And I called child service. I was like, hey, I don't even want to get involved. I don't want to tell you my name. I don't want to do anything, but this is the address. I was like, y'all might want to go look at it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I don't know whatever happened. I don't know if anything did happen, but that was just one time that was just one of them days that it's going to stick in my head till the day I die. But that's the one and only time that I ever called the city on somebody. There was one other time that I called the police, and only because there was they were neo-Nazis, I guess you'd call them, and they had a lot of guns, they had a lot of stuff in the house, and I guess they got broken into, or someone tried to rob them or something. So I was fixing the back door and doing some stuff like that. And you see, you look at the library. When they got books, I always kind of look at the books to see what people are reading. You look at the art on the wall and kind of subject matter, things like that. And just sometimes you're like, what, this is not a good house. Ooh, I'll tell you about one more. When I first got into this, it was whenever I got out of the military, I was working as a helper for this one guy named Sam. Probably one of the best guys I ever met in my life. I mean, he really kind of helped me out and got me to focus on things that I never looked at before. But we went to this house. It was, I think, a townhome or condo or something like that. It was, a bunch of houses hooked together. And we walked in, and I don't know if anybody ever felt this, or ever, people who go to a lot of places, if this ever happened. But I walked in that house, and like, just something was wrong. Like, and the house was empty. There was nobody there, and the windows weren't staying up and down, so we were fixing some balancers and things. And we was only there for like an hour and a half or so. And I kept telling Sam, I was like, Sam, there's something wrong. I do not like this place. I do not want to be here. This is just something is wrong here. So, like 2 days later, me and Sam was talking to me. And he said, "Hey, do you remember that house that you didn't like?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, it turns out that the father, I guess the wife died, and he ended up killing his daughter and himself. And so, but sometimes you get a hunch, you get a feeling, whatever, and believe I'm not saying that I know anything or nothing like that, but it just you kind of look around and you just kind of have a, you know, like the whole house was it was cold. It wasn't dark. It wasn't scary. I mean, it looked like a normal house. It just felt wrong, you know. But yeah, I got so many of these stories I could talk to you about. But at the end of the day, all we do is be the best that we can be to each other. And going back on that whole, you know, expensive truck things. Everything in this world is trying to divide us. I mean, and we do seek our own. I mean, if you're white, black, you know, boy, girl, in between, it doesn't matter. Okay, there is no division in us except for the division that we put in ourselves. Um, I mean, I can't think of one time in my life in the military where everybody's green. You're either light green or dark green, but you're fucking green. You know, in high school, you know, if you're in an all black school, you can step back and still see the different groups of black people, of white people. You go up to the car show. You got the import guys, you got the American guys, and then out of them groups, you got the Toyota and Acura guys, and then you got the Chevy and the Ford and the Dodge guys, and then you have the pickups, Chevys and the Ford pickups. Then you have the Chevy cars and the Ford cars, and it's like, why do we divide ourselves? What difference does it make whether some guy wants to run a Honda Civic or a Ford pickup? Except for them damn stance trucks. They're stupid as hell. I'm not getting off of that. I have yet to find one that I. And you ever looked inside the driver's seat? All them guys look the same. I think it's one guy driving like 20 damn trucks around. Anyway, I don't mean to be divisive, but everything in this world is trying to divide us. And if we ever just got together and said, okay, let's just agree to disagree. You do your part, we do our part, but we're not going to fight. We're not going to, sit there and we're just going to accept you for who you are. I'm not going to agree with you. Hell, I may not even like you, but there's still no reason why I should be mad at you or hate you. It's like I'm not the kind of person that I don't like the alpha jock mentality. I don't like the quarterback football players. And I'm glad they're around. A lot of them become cops. A lot of them become good people in society. But in high school, I hated the jocks. And I played on sports. I did sports. But it's not the life I wanted to live. And I'm starting to ramble a little bit. But yeah, if there's anything I can say is let's just accept people for who they are. Okay, we can still be pissed off at each other. We can still not like what you do, but let's not go out and be hateful to people. Let's not go out and just it shouldn't be that way. I don't know if I'm saying what I want to say the right way. I think I'm saying the same thing in two different ways, but we're all here. No one got to dictate whether they were a boy or girl. No one got to dictate what color skin suit you're wearing. No one said, okay, I want to be, in a $100,000 a year household, on the west side. No one gets to choose who the hell they are. You're born into this life and you make the best of it, or you make the worst of it. I got a challenge. If anybody ever made it this far, hold on. Okay, well, at least it went stance. Yeah, if anybody makes it this far, just say hi or say something if you made it this far into the video. But I'm gonna get out of here. That was mosquito control, and when they start spraying, I don't want to be outside. But Just try to be nice to one person you don't like. One person. If everybody did that, I think we'd be a little bit better tomorrow than what we are today. Anyways, peace, love, money. Good night.